Good day, everyone. I am Engine Cadet Gartville Haramilia, and together with my mates Damaso, Ignacio, Sanchez, and Caracas, we will going to discuss the claims of the People's Republic of China in the South China Sea, legal and historical basis. So let us start with the legal basis. United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. According to the Article 3 of the UNCLOS, the territorial zone of a coastal state is 12 nautical miles from the baseline. So, the coastal state has a full sovereignty in their territorial zone. They can enforce law and regulations. They have the right to create separation schemes, right to take actions against foreign ships, right to protection of historical and archaeological heritage, right to environmental protection, right to regulate fisheries and marine resources, right to construct artificial island, right to conduct marine scientific research, and right to deny entry to a certain ship. Next is the contiguous zone. According to the Article 33 of UNCLOS, the contiguous zone of the coastal state is 24 nautical mile from the baseline. So, the coastal state has a limited enforcement rights in their contiguous zone, such as customs, fiscal matters, immigration, and sanitary laws. Exclusive Economic Zone, or EEZ. According to the Article 57 of UNCLOS, the coastal state or the Exclusive Economic Zone, or EEZ, of the coastal state is 200 nautical miles from the baseline. So, the coastal state has a sovereign rights for exploring, exploiting, conserving, and managing natural resources, both living and non-living in the water, subsoil, and seabed. For example, they can exploit fish, oil, gases, and other natural resources in their exclusive economic zone. Last is the continental shelf. So, according to the Article 77 of the UNCLOS, the continental shelf of UNCLOS is beyond 200 nautical miles and not exceeding 350 nautical miles. So, the coastal state has exclusive rights to explore and exploit the natural resources such as oil, gas, and marine life in the seabed. However, the Article 82 states that the coastal state need to share a revenue to the ISA, or International Seabed Authority, from the resources they exploit in the continental shelf. So this is the map of China based on the legal basis. So this is their EEZ. So this part is the agreed border of China and the Vietnam, this part. So let's now proceed to the claims of PRC on legal basis. First is the Pratas Island, or the Dongsha Island. So the Dongsha Island is approximately 173 nautical miles, or 320 kilometers from the coast near Shantou, Guangdong province. So as you can see in this picture, the Pratas Island is in the EEZ of People's Republic of China. Next is some of the Paracel Islands. So you see the Paracel Islands is group of islands, or it consists of many islands, reefs, banks, and shoals. So as you can see in this picture, this is the EEZ of the China. And as you can see, some islands are in the EEZ and in the continental shelf of China. So this includes this includes the Amphitrite group or the northeastern paracels, the Woody Island or Yongqing Island, Rocky Island, Lincoln Island, Middle Island. Next is the Crescent group, the Triton Island, Pattle Island, Mani Island, Duncan Island, and the Drummond Island. Next is the shoals, reefs, and banks in the paracels that are in the EEZ and continental shelf of China. The Bombay Reef, Discovery Reef, Antelope Reef, Volador Reef, and Pasokea Bank. So, this is the map of the Paracel Island that is inside the EEZ and continental shelf of China. Now let's proceed to the historical basis. So I know that we are all familiar with the 9-dash line because the South China Sea is one of the most controversial sea in the world. So before we proceed to the claims of the People's Republic of China in their 9-dash line, let us first understand what is 9-dash line. Where and when does 9-dash line begin? My mate Sanchez will discuss the history of the 9-dash line.
Small Chinese boats swarming. China's military is taking forceful steps.
The South China Sea dispute primarily involves China and Philippines, with China using its so-called 9-dash line to claim vast maritime areas, including parts of the Philippines EEZ or the Exclusive Economic Zone. The dispute has deep historical roots, dating back to the late 19th century after the Japan's defeat in World War II in 1945. Japan surrenders conquered territories, but no clear sovereignty is assigned over the South China Sea islands. China seized the opportunity to claim territories. In 1946, China sent its naval forces to claim Paracel, Pratas, and Spratly Islands. China was the only country in the South China Sea with the capability to make such an expedition, and they used that chance to claim more territories. And that was the origin of the 11-dash line that was published in 1947. So this was the 11-dash line of China. It contains of 11-dash line. So the 11-dash line of China was later revised to 9-dash line in 1952 by removing 2 dashes in the Gulf of Tonkin. At that time, China wanted to strengthen ties with North Vietnam, which was fighting French colonial rule, and later the Vietnam War. So China removed 2 dashes in the Gulf of Tonkin to strengthen ties with North Vietnam, reducing the claim of 9 dashes. In April to June 2012, China seizes Scarborough Shoal from the Philippines after a naval standoff. Year after that, the Philippines filed a case against China at the Permanent Courts of Arbitration, or the PCA, under UNCLOS. In 2014, China starts building artificial islands in the Spratlys, militarizing the region. In July 12, 2016, the PCA ruled against China's 9-dash line, stating that it has no legal basis, but China rejects the ruling. And recently, in August 28, 2023, China adds a 10th dash line in its new standard map, intensifying tensions with the Philippines, India, Vietnam, and Taiwan. China added new dash east of Taiwan, signaling that it considers Taiwan an inseparable part of China. So this was the newly added dash line in east of Taiwan. In conclusion, in 1947, the Republic of China or ROC published a map featuring an 11 dash line, originally 11 segments, delineating its claim in the South China Sea. In 1952, the People's Republic of China or the PRC under Mao Zedong modified this to a 9 dash line by removing 2 dashes in the Gulf of Tonkin, claiming to strengthen relations with North Vietnam. Recently, in 2023, China released a new map featuring a 10 dash line, reinforcing its extensive claims in South China Sea. This move was perceived as an escalation of its territorial assertions. So next is the historical basis of Taiwan.
Hi, I'm Engine Cadet Caracas. So today, I will discuss about the claims of China in Taiwan based on historical basis. So the dispute over Taiwan is one of the most sensitive and long-standing geopolitical issues in East Asia. China claims Taiwan as a part of its territory, while Taiwan operates as a self-governing democracy with its own government, military, and economy. China's claim over Taiwan is deeply tied to its broader territorial assertion in the South China Sea, particularly the 10 dash line. So as you can see here in the picture, there was an added 10th dash in the eastern coast of Taiwan, forming a 10 dash line. So this was formed in the year 2023. So China's growing efforts to assert for sovereignty over maritime and territorial regions including Taiwan. China argues that Taiwan has been part of its territory for centuries. It points to the historical lies such as the Qing Dynasty rule from the year 1683 to 1895. This emphasizes the One China principle, which states that there is only one China and that Taiwan is a part of its territory. So, the Chinese Communist Party insists that reunification is inevitable, whether through peaceful means or military force if necessary. By adding a dash near Taiwan, as you can see here, you can see the 10th dash in the eastern coast of Taiwan. So China is visually and politically incorporating the island into its maritime boundary. This move strengthens China's One China principle, which insists that Taiwan is a breakaway province that must eventually be reunified. The 10 dash line serves as a symbol of China's broader territorial ambitions, linking Taiwan's sovereignty to its South China Sea.
Now, let's proceed to the historical basis of China's claiming the Scarborough Shoal, and it is also known as the Bajo de Masinloc, and it is located about 120 nautical miles from the Masinloc, Zambales in the Philippines. China took control of the shoal in 2012 after a standoff between Chinese and Philippine ships. Since then, China has placed patrol ships around the shoal, preventing the Filipino fishermen from freely accessing the area. Despite the Philippines' protest, China continues to control the shoal today. There are some reasons why China claiming the Scarborough Shoal, and it is linked in their historical basis. One of these is the ancient maps and records. China says that during the Yuan dynasty in 1271 to 1368 and Ming dynasty in 1368 to 1644, Chinese fishermen and traders are already knew about the shoal and use it for fishing for a long time. And it also includes the Nine-Dash Line. China includes the Scarborough Shoal in their saying Nine-Dash Line, which is cover most of the South China Sea. They say that this proves their historic rights to the area, and also includes the control and patrols. China argues that it has controlled and protected the shoal for many years, which proves it belongs to them. However, the Philippines over Scarborough Shoal has a legal basis. The Philippines claims Scarborough Shoal based on the international law, which is the proximity. The shoal is much closer to the Philippines than to China, and it is inside from the 200 nautical miles EEZ, or the exclusive economic zone of the Philippines. And also the UNCLOS, or the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. According to it, a country has rights to use and manage resources within its EEZ, since the shoal, or the Scarborough Shoal, is inside the Philippines EEZ, so it should belong to the Philippines. In 2016, there is a international court ruling, or the Permanent Court of the Permanent Court of Arbitration, that ruled the China's claims over the Scarborough Shoal and the Nine-Dash Line include, but it has no legal basis. However, China did not accept the decision. So now let's move on to the historical basis of the China's claiming the Spratleys Island. Spratleys Island, known in China as Nansha Island, and these are a small groups of islands and reefs in the South China Sea. China claims that the ancient records like Scarborough Shoal, China say it has a records from the Han Dynasty 206 BC to 120 AD, and that proves Chinese sailors used it, or the Spratly Islands, for a long time. And it also includes the reasons of their historical maps and patrols. China says it included the islands in its map for a long time ago and has sent naval patrols there. And as I have mentioned earlier in the Scarborough Shoal, they also include the Spratly Islands in their Nine-Dash Line, that it is also a part of its historic rights under the Nine-Dash Line. However, the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan also claims the part of the Spratly Islands. And there are some islands that China has built in the Spratly Islands by reclaiming the island and constructing military bases. Some of the major islands includes the Ferry Cross Reef, or the Yongso Reef. This island has a long airstrip, radar systems, and military facilities. The Mischief Reef, or the Mehe Reef, this is the largest artificial island with airstrips, buildings, and military structures. The Subi Reef, or Zubi Reef, this island also has an airstrip and military facilities. The Quarteron Reef, or the Wahang Reef, it has a military bases, or military installation and radar system. The next one is the Gavin Reef, the Nanson Reef, a smaller artificial island with buildings and radar. The Dongmin Reef, or another island with Chinese military structures. Those are the artificial islands that are heavily militarized with airstrip, missile system, and naval facilities. The South China Sea remains a very disputed area. China continues to claim Scarborough Shoal and Spratly Islands based on history, while the Philippines and other countries use international law that is respecting by the UNCLOS. The situation remains tense and many countries are calling for a peaceful solution. Even though the Philippines won in the case in 2016, and China still controls the shoal today.
Now let's proceed to the Paracel Islands. We are talking about the Paracel Island dispute. So this is a big argument between China and Vietnam over a group of small islands in the South China Sea. So even though the islands are small, they are very important. So let's find out why. So actually the Paracel Islands are a group of small islands and reefs in the South China Sea. In Vietnamese, they are actually called Hoang Sa, and in China they are called Xisha. So it's actually 165 nautical miles from the nearest coast of China and 124 nautical miles from the Vietnam. So let's proceed to the history of the dispute. So in 1816, Vietnam Emperor Gia Long claimed the islands. So in 1939, Japan took control during World War II. In 1945, Japan left after the surrender, leaving the island unoccupied. In 1950, France gave the control to the South Vietnam. In 1956, South Vietnam sent soldiers to the islands. So 1974, China fought South Vietnam and in the island. So since 1974, China has controlled the islands, but Vietnam still say they belong to them. So why actually these islands are very important to China? So first one is the location, wherein they are in the middle of important trade routes. Many ships pass through this area. And resources. There are lots of fish, and people believe there is a lot of oil and gas under the sea. And also the power. Controlling the islands help a country control more of the South China Sea. Because of this, both countries won't let the islands. Now, China has built military bases on islands. Vietnam does not agree and protests. Other countries like the US also watch closely because they want South China Sea to stay open for trade. Even though there is no war, the situation is still tense. So both countries do not agree and the problem is not yet solved. So let's now proceed to the Macclesfield Bank. So Macclesfield Bank is a large atoll underwater. So this means it has coral reef but no land above water. So Macclesfield Bank is actually located in the high seas, 460 nautical miles from China's baseline. Here. So let's first have a recap in the history. So in 1700s to 1800s, Chinese fishermen actually used the area, but there was no official claim. So in 1800s, British sailors named it Macclesfield Bank. In 1947, China included it in its 11-dash line. So in 1953, China adjusted its claim to the 9-dash line, still including the Macclesfield Bank. In 1983, the Philippines started claiming part of its as the Kalayaan Island Group. So recently in 2016, the Permanent Court of Arbitration ruled that China has no legal claim, but China rejected the ruling. So there are also reasons why China don't want to give up on these islands. So first is actually the strategic location for the military and trade routes, and also the resources, and for territorial expansion. So that's it.
Okay. So next is the sum of the Indonesian waters. So as you can see in this map, This is the EEZ of Indonesia. And the 9 dash line overlaps and takes some of its EEZ. So here you see. This is the disputed area. This is the EEZ of Indonesia, and this is the 9 dash line of China. So those are the claims of the People's Republic of China all over the South China Sea. So that's all. Thank you for your time and thank you for listening. God bless you all.